Gaffer, thank you for taking the time. That game, I think, took a couple of years off me. How did you see it?
Gave it to us. Probably what everyone else saw. First half, nowhere near what we want to be. Slow, ponderous, lethargic, lack of energy. Just wanted to play backwards and sideways. Didn't want to run. Didn't want to compete. And the only positive of the first half is that we weren't 3 or 4 or 5 behind and out of sight. They were out. They weren't out of sight. So we managed to come in half time, address a couple of things. Could have changed probably the whole team. And just asked them told them they have to run more. They have to run more. They have to turn them around a little bit more. They have to play mixed football. We don't want to become a possession-based team. We want to play out from the back every now and again, but not every time. Didn't want to turn their centre halves around. We just brought 2 centre forwards in whose their strength is to run in behind, and we never asked the question. And we never won a duel. So yeah, it was unacceptable the first half. But the second half, Hoggy, Anthony made an impact straight away. We turned them around a couple of times, and all of a sudden spaces start appearing everywhere else on the pitch. And in the end, I thought, you take the emotion out of it, it's probably a fair result because of the first half. But I thought we were the team that were going to go on to win it in the end. But again, shows your mentality. We went 2-0 down against these earlier in the season. We're dead and buried. We never looked like getting back. Today we're 2-0 down out their place and looked like the team that's going to go on to win it.
The flat nature of the first half from ourselves especially, I'm not looking to make excuses in the slightest, but the fact that we haven't had a game for 10 days and it's been an odd period with games being called off, that can't have helped the mentality of the side maybe? No,
you can't make excuses for lack of running. Sometimes early kickoffs have that feel. I don't know why. It's just everything's a little bit. I tried to warn them that because I've played in these types of games, but they did it in the second half. So I don't know. Like I said, it just felt like we thought we could just turn up, just roll the ball around, just jog around, and we'll be better than them. You got no chance, and we don't want to become that team. I don't want to be. I said it when I come in. I'd never want to be tagged as a manager as, he's a long ball merchant, or he's a possession-based football. Or I want to play mixed football. I want to hurt teams in different ways. I want to be able to go to Wickham and have 30% of the ball and win. I don't want to be at home and have 70% of the ball and win. The key is win. So, and that's what I just thought we got sucked into a little bit of. They almost let us have the ball in certain areas, and we thought, we're enjoying this, but all we ever looked was vulnerable.
It's 16 games unbeaten now, and this is the second time in that run that we've been 2 down at half time and come back and got a point out of it. Lincoln at home was the last one. We talked a lot at the start of the season over the attitude and the application of the boys, and that can't be questioned when they're coming away from games like that with a point in the bank.
Yeah, you forgot Crawley again.
Sorry.
Yeah, every week. It shows the spirit of the players. And again, in all of those games, we're finishing really strong, looking like we're going to go and win the game. So it's a long time, 16 games, and you're not going to get everything your own way. And they're a much better team than what their league position says. We've played them twice now. They've been excellent. All the stats tell you in terms of XG and all that type of data, they should be a lot higher in the table than what they are. Difficult opposition. And in the cold light of day, would you take a point away from home? Probably. Definitely at half time. Maybe not so much at full time. So yeah, we'll take the point and we'll get out of here.
Started both new forwards today. Joe got an assist, and Dion's application off the ball and in the build-up play was fantastic as well. You must be pleased with how they started.
Yeah, I thought Dion had more involvement in the game, looked sharper because he's match fit. Joe doesn't look fit. We're going to have to get him fit on the job. But one thing he did do, he scored 1 in 1. So he can only get better. You've got to build relationships with new players and things like that. But Callum Marshall came on the pitch and affected it, which is what we think he can do. We've seen him start, and he's been excellent. A little bit maybe harsh that he came straight out, but we thought with the 2 new players, we thought Joe could get through it on adrenaline, and Dion will add to what we've got definitely.
The changes at half time with Jonathan Hogg and Anthony Evans, they both came on and were excellent, and Anthony's ability on the ball isn't questionable, and Hoggy, the attitude he has and the way that he impacts just the tenaciousness of the side is fantastic. It must have been good to have those options to call on.
Yeah, well, we've got one thing there is now, there's competition for places, because you look at the bench and then you look at the players that aren't on the bench. Teams of people like Nigel, Lass, Josh Ruffles, Kasumu, Freddie, Bojan. I've probably missed quite a few out there, but they're not even here today. So there's a competition for places, and Hoggy and Anthony look like they haven't played for a while, and they look like they've watched a team that were doing really well. So they know that this is a chance probably earlier than what they thought. They have to impact the game, and they did, and that's what we want. And that's every day in training now. So, Herbie Kame's been excellent in this run. He's played pretty much every minute. But I thought he was off it today, and I thought him and Joe, like I said before, it could have been two. It's just that we had cover in those positions on the bench that I thought could impact the game.
2 bonuses as well, with more minutes in Rodinho's legs in a competitive fixture, and Reece Healy coming back, which I don't think many people are expecting to see either. It's starting to show the strength in depth that we've got available to us.
2 good subs in terms of the front two. Raz, we all know, is a good player. We've got to keep him fit. He's been a little bit, some point we say he's injury. He broke his ankle in a tackle in pre-season, and he came in last January unfit. So one thing we've been able to do is build and build and build. He's had quite a lot of training in him now, and yeah, I thought he had one sloppy moment in the first minute when he came on, but other than that, he shows you what he is. He had one moment where he just put the afterburners on because you think Apter's in, and he just explodes and takes off and mops it up, and it doesn't look like there's any danger, but there was a big danger in the front two. Like I said, Callum and Reece. You look at those, they would start. Well, if they started for us today, I wouldn't be too disappointed at all because they've both been. Everyone knows what Reece can be. We've just got to manage Reece now. So we've had conversations with Reece that there's no expectancy on him to be starting in the next week. We need to build and build and build, and he's comfortable with that as well because it's. He's a good player, but he's not a good player when he's not with us. So we have to manage him and look after him because he can definitely impact this season.
Gaffer, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, Raj.